Hello, my name is Max Talyarov. I'm a co-founder and CTO of Property Tax Fox. Welcome everybody to our webinar, How to Sell Properties with High Property Taxes. Who is Property Tax Fox? Property Tax Fox helps homeowners to lower their property taxes. We also developed a unique property tax research and analysis cloud-based platform that allows any real estate professional to analyze property taxes for their clients on the residential properties instantly and for free. Property taxes are very confusing to the homeowners, especially at the time of purchase and sale, but there's a smarter way, an efficient way to help your client to understand property taxes. So kick back and relax, let Property Tax Fox help you and your client understand your property taxes. Before we continue, I would like to take this opportunity and ask all the viewers to sign up for our service. This will help you to follow along the presentation and run the analysis on the properties of your choice during the presentation or afterwards so that you can understand how to properly use this platform. Let me go ahead and switch to our website at propertytaxfox.com. And in order to sign up, click on the login button on the upper right corner. And then on the sign up screen, click on the create account. On the screen, provide your first name, last name, email address, and the password. That's the only information we ask you to establish the account with us. Click on the I am dropdown and select that you're a real estate agent or referral affiliate or a mortgage broker. Identify yourself and go ahead and specify the company name and your affiliate and the affiliate code. The affiliate code can be found here. It's RXTX. Please enter this information. Since this is also a marketing platform, every agent who signs up with us will get their own affiliate code. This is mine, so go ahead and use it to create your account. Once you're done, click on confirm that you're over 18 years of age, review our terms of use, and select this checkbox, and then click on create your account. Once you do that, you will receive an email in your inbox from support@propertytaxfox.com with instructions on how to activate your account. That simply involves just clicking on the button in the middle of the email that confirms that this is your email account. Once you're done, you're ready to start using the system. And I'm just gonna go ahead and log in so you can see the dashboard, your own custom dashboard. As you can see, the dashboard is very simple, and it only allows you to enter the property address or specify the PIN of the property that you'd like to analyze, specify whether or not the property was purchased after January 1st of 2016. This is in order to make the analysis more accurate for you and your client. You can also change your avatar. Here's your own affiliate code that you can use to onboard other agents. You immediately receive a 25% discount on all the appeal fees that your clients would pay, and you can go ahead and change your personal information. This is it. We specifically made the dashboard very simple, so it's very easy for the agents to use it, and it doesn't give you a headache. When you run the analysis, the main point of the analysis is to provide you quick answers for most of the tax-related questions that your client may ask you. You don't want voicemails. You don't want to call the attorneys and leave them voicemails and ask for help and wait for a couple of days or weeks for them to get back to you. Some of those questions, you need answers right away. They're not very difficult questions, and this is what our platform will allow you to do. Once you run the analysis, you would be able to easily generate a property tax analysis report for your client. This is a sample of this report. On this report, you will see the address of the property, a brief information about the taxes on the property. You also see that this report was made as compliments of you to your client. This is going to be your name and your company's information. The client will also see here a discount code. This is the discount code they can actually use to appeal the property taxes on our website. The original appeal fee is $400. Because of you, the client automatically gets $100 off the appeal fee, and the final fee that the client would have to pay to us is $300 to handle the appeal. Also, in the middle of the report, you will see that this is the tax overpayment information. You can see the current taxes on the property without exemptions, the exemption information available for this property, the amount of overpayment based on the purchase price, and how much potentially the client can save. We will go a little bit more into detail on the specific case later on. But what's important to note here is that on the bottom left corner, there's also how to start instructions that the client can use to actually purchase the appeal from our website. And on the right-hand side, there's a help information. If you or your client have any questions regarding the appeal, please don't hesitate to contact us and ask any question you wish to get answers for. We're really open and we're available most of the time during the day, and we'll be happy to answer your questions to ensure that you're comfortable with this analysis, you understand this analysis, and you have everything they need to proceed with the appeal. So once we got this out of the way, I'd like to explain you why you really need to use our service and why is it important and how we can provide value to you with our service. I'd like to refer you to the quote that the famous social media speaker and Facebook Live host, Marky Lemons, recently said in one of her podcasts. She basically said that real estate industry has matured to a point where agents are becoming a commodity. While this is good for consumers, it is difficult for real estate agents who have to set themselves apart. And this is so much true. Over the past 20 years, the real estate industry really progressed to an extent that all the information about the real estate transactions or properties on the market are available online. Clients don't have to talk to the real estate agent to get this information anymore. Most of the transactions now start online. People go online first and then talk to the real estate agents. Because of this, the referral business started to shrink for a lot of real estate agents. Clients don't really see the value in real estate agents until much later in the process, sometimes simply just to handle the transaction. They get a lot of the information online, they do a lot of research, and a lot of times it feels like the clients really dismisses your opinion and tells them, you know what, I know everything, I don't really need your advice. It's a very different from what it used to be 20 years ago, or maybe even recently. It's also much more difficult to stay in touch with clients or find some information that will help you differentiate yourself from any other agent. If you think about it, property taxes affect every aspect of the real estate transactions. They affect the sale, and this is exactly what we're going to be talking today. It affects the purchase of the property. Property taxes affect closing, property ownership, mortgage qualifications, and finally, the mortgage payments themselves. The amount of money that you're going to pay every month to the mortgage company is directly related to how much you are billed in property taxes. And every time that amount increases, your mortgage payment will increase as well. Whether you like it or not, clients view you in some cases, and especially when it comes to property taxes, as the main go-to person. They're not going to call the property tax attorney because most of them don't know who they are, and they don't have confidence that the attorney will give them the right information when they call. So they direct all of the tax-related questions to you at the time of purchase or sale. In a lot of cases, this is simple questions, but it's difficult for you to answer those questions regardless of their simplicity because you're not familiar with the subject. It's very difficult for you would be to estimate what the taxes will be after the purchase or how they will change from price X to price Y. Are they too high? Are they too low? Are they just fine? Is it possible to reduce them even further? What should be the credit at the closing? There's a lot of questions that clients can ask you, which literally gonna cause you a headache at the end of the day. Property Tax Fox makes this simple to the homeowners. With our simple solution, through your dashboard, you can easily understand clients' property taxes. You can use that information to also develop property tax strategies to help you make the transaction tax stress-free for the client. You can also help them execute the right strategy. And finally, you can save the client immediately save money by executing the strategy. And the client can save money before, at, or after the closing. And it's all because of you. Why are we trying to do this? We're really trying to help you achieve your goals. We want to help you to deliver, first, new value-added services to your clients. We want you to be able to differentiate yourself from other agents. We want you to become a subject matter expert everything real estate without really being a subject matter expert in property taxes. But your client has to think that way. This will help you grow loyalty, improve your bottom line, save clients money, and ultimately grow your business. So let's move to the main topic of our conversation today, is managing a sale. And we're going to start and look at this on a sale transaction from a couple different perspectives. One would be from a standpoint of the homeowner, and the other would be from standpoint of the agent, from the agent themselves. From the standpoint of the homeowner, when the homeowner decides that they want to sell the property, they want to sell it fast in most of the cases. They're really hoping to get rid of these properties, buy another property, and don't pay the second mortgage. This is especially true for people who are moving from state to state, or for somebody who already found the home, who already gave the down payment on the new home, but still haven't sold their existing place. The whole process of moving puts a lot of stress on the homeowner because they have to keep their house clean. They have to ensure that all of the repairs are done. And they want to receive the top dollar for their property, regardless of the condition. A lot of times, regardless of what the market tells them otherwise, they really want to get the top dollars for their property. From the standpoint of the realtor, you have to be very careful. You have to really understand the market, and you have to determine the right listing price for the property so you can sell the property quickly for the homeowner. You also have to make sure that the house is always prepared and the client is prepared for all the showings, for the open homes. You have to negotiate with the buyers. You have to keep in contact with the attorneys, with the mortgage company. You literally have to do all the legwork to make the transaction stress-free for the client. So you have to be a knight in a shining armor for that client. The client never has to know how much stress this is for you. It's really all has to be seamless to you. And then comes property taxes. Property taxes gives a lot of problems to people who are trying to sell the property, especially when the market is not flying high as it used to be in the last 4 or 5 years. In a slow markets, in a sideways markets, or in a down markets, property taxes can ensure that the house will stay in the market for a very long time. It can also force a lot of listings to expire. Property taxes can also cause your sale price to go down, and in general build a lot of frustration and stress to the homeowner and to you as an agent. There are a number of cases that we had to deal with recently where the agents were not able to sell the property because extremely high property taxes. After a year on the market, the listing would just expire and they would lose the business. Plus, nobody even counts on how many hours they devoted to sale of that property and advertising dollars and everything that has to do with marketing that property. And Property Fox can help you in this situation. And this is exactly what we're here to do, is to be your partner and help you deal with property taxes for every one of your clients. We provide instant property tax analysis. We help you estimate tax overpayments for sellers, for the buyers, and use that information to develop proper tax strategies for your client. We'll help you eliminate all of the tax-related questions from the buyers and help you quickly sell the property, making you more money in the process and reducing the time the property stays on the market. Let's look at the example. This is the property at 1316 Esther in Chicago and Lincoln Park. And the agent that we work with, this agent had to do a lot of work in order to onboard the client. The agent analyzed the property taxes for the homeowner. They generated the market analysis for the property. They analyzed property taxes for the buyer. and they use that information to develop the right marketing strategy. They use that information and all the reports they generated on our website and provided them together with the market report to the client to help them understand that as an agent, they have all the information needed and they thought of everything in order to help them sell the property quickly. Let me quickly go through the analysis on this property on the dashboard so you can see how this agent or how we do this on a day-to-day basis so you understand how to properly use this platform. So let me go ahead and enter the property address. And first, I just need the information about the client's property taxes. So I enter the address and I'm assuming the property was in the client's possession for more than 3 years. So I don't have to enter the purchase price of the property because it probably was before 2016. And I'm gonna click on review my property taxes. The system will use all the comparable properties in a neighborhood to estimate the level of overassessment of this property with respect to everybody else in the neighborhood. And as you can see, the base tax amount on this property is $121,000 with all the exemptions. We estimate the current year taxes should be about $120,616. Based on comparable properties in a neighborhood, we project the fair property taxes on this property should be about $104,000, $105,000. And we estimate, based on these numbers, we estimate the amount of overpayment of about $17,000. So if the client would appeal, we would try to save the client about $34,000 over the next 2 years until the next reassessment happens. At this point, the agent can go ahead and generate the tax report. This is a PDF report that our system will generate automatically and dynamically for every property that you analyze on our system. This is what I showed you at the very beginning of the presentation. And this gives you a very good snapshot of the property taxes. Now, one thing to pay attention to is that for this property, we only have 2018 assessment. We don't have yet 2019 assessment. Because of that, this is the information we display. But we always go based on the recent assessment. So if the county releases next month a 2019 assessment for this property, we will show you 2019 assessment, and you can use this information to actually project what the client will be paying next year. Because you get the bill today, you get the assessment set this year, but the taxes are being paid next year. We'll always pay 1 year in arrears. Now for this property, since we already know they have the information about the property taxes and what they are right now, we can go ahead and analyze exactly the same property, but look from a standpoint of the buyer and see how much the property taxes should change based on the purchase price and whether or not the buyer has a chance to appeal the property taxes after the purchase. So I'm gonna enter the property information once again in this input control. I'm gonna click and select this checkbox to say the property will be purchased, so the transaction will happen. And my listing price that I'm thinking based on the market analysis that I ran, that the agent ran for the client, the agent thought that they can sell the property for $5.2 million. And we're gonna go ahead and select the future, some date sometimes in the future, because we don't know when the closing date will be. I'm gonna click on review my property taxes. Now, as you can see, based on the purchase price, the taxes on the property should be about $103,000, which means that the buyer will be overpaying $19,000. Since this is an arm's length transaction, the purchase price is an indication of the market value and can be totally used to reduce the property taxes by this amount. Over the next 3 years, the client can potentially save $57,000 in property taxes by simply appealing after they purchase the property. Once again, go ahead and click on the Get Report to generate your property tax analysis report for the buyers based on the listing price that you're going to set in the MLS for this property. And now let's get to this fourth item on the list, which is how do we use this information to develop the right tax management strategy for our client? Because we want to ensure that we're not going to lose any time with the tax appeals. We don't want our client to spend more money, and we don't want to lower the listing price on the property if the client would ask. And in this case, this is extremely simple. Why? Because the seller, if they would appeal, they can save $17,000. But the buyer, who has much better options to appeal, can save $19,000. Since the buyer can save more in property taxes, there is totally no reason for the seller to appeal. And for the buyer, this would be the bargain, because now the buyer will get more money at the closing, will turn around, and next year will appeal taxes and save $19,000 on their property taxes. This is a win-win situation for everybody. Now, as an agent, you can provide this information to the seller, explain the nature of your analysis and the tax strategy that you developed, become the subject matter expert in their eyes, simply turn around, and because this is a PDF document, attach it to your MLS listing. Now, all the buyers will see this immediately when they start looking at your property, and literally none of them will ask you any more information to provide regarding property taxes. If they would, you can always refer them to us. As your partners, we will always be able to support you and answer all of those questions for free to make sure that they really understand this report and its findings. But it's also another bonus for the buyer. They can also see if they apply for the homeowner's exemption, they may get $700 in reduction in their property taxes. They can also see they're going to probably ask you not to include the senior exemption in the tax credit that the buyer will receive. So it's literally a win-win situation for the buyer and the seller. With that in mind, we would like to ask you to join us and use us to help your clients. We provide the white label property tax analysis reports for you. Our service also helps you generate email campaigns to your clients, new clients and old clients. So you can always have something valuable to provide them, and you can always keep in touch. We can help you as part of our service to analyze all of your clients with a single request. And one new feature that we're gonna have available for you soon is you would be able to use Property Tax Fox to gift appeals to your clients. If you think about it, in the past, it was impossible to gift anything that has to do with an appeal to the client because you really never knew how much the appeal will cost you at the end of the day. With our free flat fee appeal service, you can now do this. Instead of giving somebody a gift of $500 for the insurance policy and their appliances or a cleaning service or something of that nature, give them the power of appeal. Because now, if the client can actually save $19,000 in property taxes and you give them the appeal for $300, you literally gifted them close to $20,000 in savings as part of them doing business with you. This is huge. Nobody can actually afford to give somebody a gift of $20,000, but now you can. So it's very important that you think about it and see the value of our service and how much value it can bring to you. We can also help you to set up videos for your clients with Facebook or BombBomb, so you can design your email campaigns with a personal message. With this in mind, we would like to ask you to partner with us. Our benefits include free tax analysis and research, free client consultations, free comprehensive property tax reports, appeal vendor discounts, agent marketing tools, and gifting. The future of property tax analysis and marketing is here, and we're trying to deliver this to you with Property Tax Fox. Thank you very much, and have a good day.